Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with another video. Now we're gonna go into the 20 best diss songs of all time in rap history. Now, I made this list today during work. Yeah, I know. Quentin, you're gonna lose your job doing this. Quentin, you're gonna do this. Quentin, shut the fuck up! Okay, now, this is King Known Cleary, aka Unknown, aka King Known at King Known on Twitter and in the Instagram. So we're gonna get right to it. Number 20 is D12 and Obi Trice with Do Re Mi. D12 and Obi Trice did that diss record towards Ja Rule and Benzino during those wars back in 2003 when 50 Cent first signed to Interscope and Shady Aftermath. Eminem inherited 50's beef with everybody, and they wiped Benzino off of a microphone, thank God. They wiped Ja Rule out of history like he didn't do anything when he did things in hip hop that other people weren't doing. And I think it was a decent diss song, and it just made it on this list. I had to decide between this and LL Cool J To the Break of Dawn. And I chose Do Re Mi by like a hair. I think the best verse on that song was probably Kaniva's verse on there. It was kind of dope. Number 19 is Ice Cube and Mac 10 with King of the Hill. Now, King of the Hill came out in 1995 when it was a rivalry between the West Side Connection and Cypress Hill. Dub C did not join in this battle because he was cool with B Real. But however, Ice Cube and Mac 10 were answering B Real's No Rest for the Wicked when they dissed Ice Cube talking about they took one of their songs when they were going at it back and forth because they had felt like they were biting, Ice Cube. I mean, no. Ice Cube was biting them, and they obviously didn't like that. And the rivalry went on. I think it's one of the best diss songs, of all time. Everybody in the ghetto know what you're doing. One white boy and two fucking Cubans claiming that you're loco, but you ain't Mexican. Listen to no Vaseline before you niggas flex again. Now that was a dope line by Cube. Mac 10, he did alright, but you know, besides the line, Sin Dog is so whack he ain't worth dissing. But that's pretty much it. Number 18 is Real Niggas by NWA. Now you wondering why it's so low. Well, the follow-up diss track to this record, No Vaseline, which we'll mention later on in this video, destroyed NWA's career. But NWA put up a decent diss song with MC Ren, Dr. Dre, and Eazy-E, or dissing Ice Cube for leaving NWA. Now, I don't know why they started dissing Ice Cube. I think it was just because it boosted the record sales. But they didn't know that Ice Cube was going to come back at them so scandalous. And they were dissing each other on MTV, BET, you name it, they were dissing each other. But Real Niggas kind of upped the ante. They only took a little pot shots with Jacket for Beats and 100 Miles and Running. They dissed each other. They had like the little one line joints or whatever. But Real Niggas just upped the ante. And it did well. It was a dope song. Number 17, Real Motherfucking G's by Eazy-E. Now, me in particular, I'd never cared about this song, but you gotta give Eazy-E some credit. It's one of the best diss songs ever. And in my opinion, I always thought Eazy-E was an overrated rapper. I think he was a hell of a businessman, and has an ear for talent. Rap lyrics, however, no. He never wrote any of his rhymes. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't believe in that record. I mean, it's dope. Don't get it twisted. Real Motherfucking G's was kind of disheartening a little bit, but not many people really cared because the damage was done. I mean, Dr. Dre had already served him up with fucking with Dre Day, which I will mention later on as well. Number 16, The Bitch in You by Common. Who would ever thought that somebody had the balls to go back at Ice Cube. Common is in the same realm as De La Soul, Black Thought. You know those guys. Those guys normally weren't known for battling, and Common, was more for, hip hop, not necessarily fuck you bitch, you can suck a dick, eat a fucking dick faggot type music, but Common went hard. Like, that nigga called him a Muslim drinking brew, dog. That shit was funny as hell. Like, that whole song with Common the Bitch and You had some good disses. It had some good lines in there. You know what I'm saying? I think you need to look that shit up, man. It's a dope song. 15. 99 Problems and Little Flip Ain't One by T.I. The T.I. versus Little Flip battle was a dope battle. I mean, I think he struck first or something like that. I don't know. Little Flip was trying to, when T.I. went to jail in, like, I believe it was like 2003, Lil Flip came on the scene with 2 back-to-back dope albums. They were dope to people, but I never liked Lil Flip. I always thought he was trash. I thought he was one of the worst rappers ever. But but 10 years down the line, I figure he wasn't so bad with the trash that's coming out right now. But back to the diss song. T.I. just had to serve him up because Lil Flip actually put out a good diss record. He did a little freestyle for Tim Westwood. And Lil Flip actually went hard on there. And T.I. was like, okay, I'm going to end this cat's career. He's trying to take my crown as the king of the South. And in 2004, he got on a DJ drama mixtape called Down with the King. And T.I. just straight served him up a hot dish where he just clowned on him for wearing a leprechaun suit and all this other stuff. I was happy for T.I. for winning that battle because it got him back in the public eye. And T.I. had that I ended a motherfucker's career under his belt. He's up there with LL, Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? Up there with legends. I mean, it doesn't matter. Long as you fully end the career, you're considered legendary. Number 14, 50 Cent, Back Down. This wasn't the greatest diss song in the world, but it was like, 50 Cent was a superstar in 2003 when he first came on the scene with Eminem and Dr. Dre. I mean, 50 had success before, but it wasn't like this. But Back Down was just a little diss song over a Dr. Dre beat, and, he was dissing Ja Rule. I mean, Ja Rule, can rap, you know what I'm saying? But 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying, in song format, he did a good job with the diss record. I like so many lines on Back Down. And then had Alex Thomas talking with the gay shit at the end of the record. It was funny as hell. And I was just cracking the fuck up. Number 13, Hail Mary. Not the Tupac version, but Eminem featuring 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes. Now, this record I have a lot to talk about, but in so little time. Now, Hail Mary was like, Eminem went ham on Ja Rule. Like, it was Ja Rule and Benzino and Irv Gotti and all those people. Like, M just served Ja Rule's ass something terrible, and, Ja Rule had just dissed him before. He said, your mama's a crackhead and Kim is the known slut, so what's Haley gonna be when she grows up? That actually was a crucial line right there. I don't think that this song in its entirety deserved to be on the countdown, but Ja Rule had something to say. And Eminem wasn't going to let his career end at the hands of that nigga, especially with the cookie cutter records that he started to make because he realized what the formula to success in the industry was. But Hail Mary, Ja Rule was trying to compare himself to Tupac. I think what brought down the value of the diss record was 50 Cent, using all of Tupac's lines. That wasn't cool. Busta Rhymes was the biggest surprise on that record. I wasn't expecting Busta Rhymes to diss anybody because I never heard Busta diss anyone. And then for him to get on the Ja Rule track, it definitely ended Ja Rule's career right there. I think that was a defining moment when Busta Rhymes came on there and destroyed Ja Rule at the end. Number 12, Takeover. I know a lot of y'all niggas is gonna be mad at me because they feel like Takeover is one of the best diss records of all time. It's one of the best diss songs, but you know what I'm saying? It's not you the song was better than the disses, in my opinion. ROC, we running this rap shit. Like, if it's something that you could chant to, that's a good song. There are some good disses on there. Don't get me wrong. He clown Prodigy, and he dissed Nas at the end. Like, it wasn't a necessarily disrespectful diss. It was more like, Nas, you're one of my favorite rappers. Why are you coming out with this weak ass shit? Why are you coming out with trash? This isn't you, Nas. And you know what? I'm going to serve you up and finish your career off for you if you continue destroying your career like that. He had put out 2 bullshit albums. I mean, I Am had some dope cuts on there, but it wasn't that great. And Nostradamus, that was completely awful with a few gems, but, Nostradamus was garbage. Number 11, Who Got Bodied by Royce da 5'9". Talk about overkill. Royce da 5'9" was dissing a Bay Area rapper named Mr. Fab who does clown music basically. He does, the Mac Dre type music. He followed in Mac Dre's footsteps, but he did it a little bit too dumb. And he had this Royce da 5'9" on a previous track. And he was talking about how many Detroit niggas he knew, and I got more shooters in Detroit than you, and that kind of thing. And Royce da 5'9" had Detroit's finest on that record. Had a couple Street Lords, had Trick on at the end, and he rapped over, the Victory beat. I think he was done after the Victory beat. This nigga rapped over the Pump It Up beat, and even threw a shot at Joe Budden that was unnecessary. Matter of fact, that whole song was unnecessary, and that's why it belonged on the list because he just went into overkill mode. He just went off the duffel bag boy also and tell me when to go, and he just straight clown Mr. Fab, dog. I don't think his career's ever been the same since. But did he ever have a career, bro? But anyway, number 10, Fuck with Dre Day by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and Jewel. Man, that was a hell of a diss record, boy. Like Dr. Dre in 1991, he had just left Eazy-E's record label, Ruthless Records, and he was trying to get a start. But the fucked up part was Eazy-E was still getting paid off of Dr. Dre because of the fact that they basically stole all his artists and wasn't even compensated. So throughout that period, the Chronic went into Eazy-E's pocket. Now Dr. Dre still felt like he wasn't being compensated correctly. So that's why he kind of dissed him on the track to clear the air. I mean, Eazy-E responded with real motherfucking G's as mentioned earlier, but I believe that Eazy-E's diss was good, but it wasn't as this. It just wasn't as strong and commanding as Fuck with Dre Day. A lot of niggas stopped fucking with Eazy-E, and Eazy-E faded into obscurity until his untimely death in 1995 of AIDS, which brought him back into relevancy, which is very unfortunate because Eazy-E, if he still would have been alive now, I think he still would have been doing music now. He would have been like a Puff or, a CEO with a microphone. That's basically what Eazy-E was. He was the first everything for rap. Number 9, DJ Quick with Dollars and Cents. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. He was going at it with MC8. Like, I had just read up on this about 2 months ago, how him and MC8 was beefed out, and they had diss tracks against each other, and they were dissing for a long time. Now, this was probably arguably the most disrespectful record on this list because he told MC8, he said something like EIHT. MC8 is spelled EIHT, right? And so he said you took the G out because the G ain't in you. No, he said EIHT. Let me continue. You took out the G because the G ain't in you. I was like, damn. I'm like, this dude won the fucking battle. I mean, MC8's disses were okay, but compared to Dollars and Cents, that shit was weak. I think we already know who won that battle. And it just took 2 lines, really, to destroy him. But he was disrespecting the dude the whole record. and ended his career in the process. Number 8, The Bridge is Over, KRS-One. A lot of niggas are gonna say you're 25 years old, you don't know nothing about KRS-One, and I'm just like, look, I'm analyzing the track itself, not KRS's whole career. But The Bridge is Over. I mean, right now it sounds outdated, but it's arguably one of the best diss songs ever, and it brought down like a whole borough. You know what I'm saying? It was like KRS repping hard for Soft Bronx. He was dissing MC Shan and DJ Mr. Magic and the whole Juice Crew. Roxanne Shante is only good for steady fucking. Ooh, that was a cold line right there. I mean, KRS-One went extremely hard on Queens, on the borough. You know what I'm saying? But it ended MC Shan's career, and it made KRS-One a beast. And and it just made him a legend. That record alone could make him a legend. He already had the South Bronx, and then MC Shan came back with that weak ass "Kill That Noise" record. That shit was garbage. But KRS-One just came back and served his ass. Alright, number 7. The Return of Jack the Ripper by LL Cool J. Now, Cannabis, which I will speak on later on in this list. Yeah, I just gave you a spoiler. But Cannabis had second round knockout. A lot of niggas thought LL's career was over. Nah, nigga. LL wasn't going out without a fight. So LL comes back with The Return of Jack the Ripper. Look that song up. Learn this. You'll get some tips on how to diss the shit out of a motherfucker. Like Andy dissed Mike Tyson on the record. He was like, I heard the convicted rapist on the record too. Fresh out of Rikers, ass cheeks black and blue. That shit was funny. And then he was like, this is the line that basically won him the battle. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Second Round Knockout is a better diss record, but The Return of Jack the Ripper just ended the shit. It ended Cannabis's career. It ended the beef. It just declared it over. Cannabis, ask Cannabis, he ain't understanding this because 99% of his fans don't exist. Like, I was a little kid in awe. Like, damn. This nigga said 99% of your fan base don't exist. The only 1% equals you. That is a tough diss record right there. Number 6 is Malcolm X by Royce da 5'9". A lot of niggas don't fuck with Royce da 5'9", but I do. He was dissing D12 on the record, and he was just telling everything that was just true about them. You know what I'm saying? My favorite line is the 9 and Swifty, please. Give it a year. Both of y'all be raking 50s leaves. And that was the funniest line, arguably, in hip-hop history right there. He just went hard at D12. D12's diss record was alright, but it was weak as hell compared to Malcolm X. I didn't like the Trey Little guy at the end of the record. I think he's trash. But Royce da 5'9" promptly, he won the battle against D12. I mean, that's only because Eminem didn't get into the battle. But Malcolm X is one of the best diss songs of all time. And unfortunately, Trey Little was on there to mess that shit up. Just like 50 Cent messed up the Hail Mary one. I think he could have came up with his own rhymes for that. Number 5, Hit 'Em Up, Tupac. This record wasn't lyrical at all, really. It was just establishing Tupac's dominance in the game. You know, Tupac had like a dominance that nobody had. You know what I'm saying? Tupac was just killing shit. And he was promptly serving Biggie, Junior Mafia, Lil C's, Lil Kim. You know, he had some classic quotes. Like, everybody still says those hit 'em up quotes. Everybody. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Chino XL, fuck you too. But you niggas got sickle cell or something? There's so many quotables out in there, man. Number 4, Second Round Knockout by Cannabis. Man, Cannabis, that was one of the hardest diss records ever. Like, every line on there is quotable. Like, strip you for your Vanguard award in front of your first, your third, second, your third born. Make me get up on the horn, call Minister Farrakhan so he could proceed to squash it. I said, nah, he started it. He forgot what a hardcore artist is. And he said 99% of your fans wear high heels. That was funny. Like, because Real talk, LL was the ladies' man. So that really got LL motivated to serve that nigga in the end. Number three, No Vaseline by Ice Cube. This is one of the greatest diss records of all time. Like, NWA had dissed them with Real Niggas, and a lot of niggas thought Cube's career was over. Wrong. On Death Certificate, Ice Cube just went ham on Dr. Dre, MC Ren, and Yella and Easy E. Like, that third verse was just one of the greatest verses ever to me. Like, I think that No Vaseline set the standard for diss records because he really disrespected them because he knew them. So that's what made the diss so intriguing and so tough. Number two, Nail in the Coffin by Eminem. He was dissing Benzino on the record, and he just went uber hard. He went too hard. I think that was kind of like Who Got Bodied times 100. Like Benzino wasn't about that life rap, lyrically, he just chewed into that nigga for no fucking reason. He just went ham on him for like 4 minutes straight, just all verses, and he just went hard. And he had that funny ass hook. Number one is Ether by Nas. This is the greatest diss record ever because of the fact that somebody had the balls to go at Jay-Z and win the battle. It prompted him to put out one of the worst diss records of all time, Super Ugly. Now, Ether down the line, I mean, he has some fictional shit, he has some real shit too. But they knew each other from the 90s. They decided to keep it on wax and keep it hip hop. And that's what I respected the most. That Nas Jay-Z battle was something that I will forever cherish in my memory because Ether was just so strong. And I don't think anybody could come back from Ether. A lot of people say Jay won the war and Nas won the battle, which is true. But at the same time, that had to be the greatest diss record ever because you're Biggie and he's Puffy. Ew. Foxy got you hot because you kept her face in her puss. Does you think you get girls now because of your looks? Negro, please. That nigga Nas is stupid. How can Nas be garbage? Semi-autos at your college. Burner at the side of your dome. Come out of my throne. I got this. Locked since 9-1. I am the truest. Like, that was the illest shit ever, in my opinion. But that's my motherfucking video. 20 best diss songs. Hallelujah, holla back.